Afternoon. I am so excited to be here with everyone. I am Christine Glein. I am the Soul Intelligence Coach, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to talk to you today about something that is so near and dear to my heart and so important. Um, I am going to talk to you today about why soul intelligence is the ultimate biohack. All right, what is biohacking, right? Some of you might be familiar with the term, some of you might not be familiar with the term, but it's basically making incremental changes to your body, right? Your diet and your lifestyle to kind of improve your overall health and wellness. You know, to me, it's akin with integrative medicine, functional medicine, and I'm all about do it yourself, right? If you can do it, that's what you should be doing. I think everybody's really trying to biohack their bodies today. I have a really good friend I spoke to last week, and she was telling me how she is looking into becoming a longevity coach. How cool is that? Like expanding our lifespan by doing these things. So, what are examples of some biohacks? Right? You could do cryogenics. That's where you get into that really, really cold chamber. And you get in there for a couple of minutes and you get so cold, but when you get out, it activates the mitochondria in your body, right? And stimulates your energy. I know multiple people who love that. Now, I don't really like the cold. You can see I am in a sweater and I even have a scarf on today, feeling it. I live in Florida. And so some of you watching me may think that's pathetic because it's only 55 degrees. It actually was legit in the 40s this morning. So the house is probably colder than it is outside by now. I think we're in the 60s. I know it's kind of silly, but I definitely was like, I don't like being cold. So even though I've been given the opportunity to try biohacking through cryogenics, I'm like, I don't think I want to do that one. That one's a little too much for me. Has anybody out there tried biohacking or any methods? Like, let me know. Give me a yes, or let me know what you've tried. I would love to know if you've tried anything like cryogenics or salt room. Like, that's a really cool one. I had this great experience when I went out. Believe it or not, to Las Vegas, of all places, which isn't exactly the most relaxing setting. But there was this incredible spa, and there was this wonderful salt room where they played really nice music and it was heated, and you sat really on these like carved benches of salt. And so it was like almost like being in the sea air. So obviously, living in Florida, I love the beach. I love the ocean. I love the smell of the salt in the sea air. And that's also really good for you. You know, things like saunas even are good for biohacking. Something else I've started recently that I am actually loving is using a face lotion that has peptides in it. Peptides, help with wrinkles. I also use something really cool from Nutritional Frontiers called HA Plus, which is hyaluronic acid, which also helps plump the skin so that the wrinkles are reduced. And it also helps your joints, which, as you know, I'm a tennis player, so that also helps me. So I know lots of things people are using to help biohack their bodies, but pretty much everything I mentioned was physical, right? And we have so many people out there struggling who are unhealthy today, and they're unhealthy mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Ultimately, they're out of balance energetically, right? And when emotion, energy in motion, becomes trapped or stored or suppressed or ignored in our bodies, it creates that dissonance in our frequency and we become out of alignment, right? So, what do I mean by out of alignment? Well, physically, you can suffer from chronic conditions, right? Sometimes the divine gives you a timeout to force you to go within. That happened to me recently. I had this foot injury and I was like, what is going on? I love playing tennis. I love being with my friends. How could I have this foot injury? And until I really went within, I realized, where the injury was. I used one of my really cool resources that I love, one of my book resources, to give me a little bit more information. But it was about being split in my direction, and not choosing to put myself first, choosing to put other people first. And I know a lot of healers, a lot of doctors, a lot of healthcare professionals in general have that, right? Because you're naturally wired. I think most of us are actually naturally wired to help others, right? And especially if you're in a healthcare profession at all, it's to help others heal. And so a lot of time we focus on everybody else, and guess who's last in line, right? We tend to put ourselves last. So sometimes we get a physical time out where it forces us to go within. You know, when I say out of alignment mentally, that doesn't necessarily mean you're crazy, okay, or that you're bipolar or any of those conditions that could get diagnosed. But maybe you're just focusing on negative thoughts, or you're reinforcing self-limiting beliefs and allowing those self-limiting beliefs like I'm not lovable or I'm not worthy to cloud your experience and to cloud where you are in your life. You know, what do I mean out of alignment emotionally? You suppress emotions, or you stuff feelings, or you ignore what needs to be felt. And then the emotion, that energy gets trapped in your physical body. Something goes wrong and you need to go and see a doctor to help them shift it out of the physical because it's been there stuck for so long. Spiritually, what do I mean? When you're out of alignment with spiritual things, you know, you don't feel like you're aligned with your true purpose or your highest calling, or what Brandon Bouchard calls your zone of genius, right? And that happens as, you know, you've been in like this zone of excellence, or you're in a role where people love you in this role because they see you that way. They identify with you that way. They see you as this, maybe, for example, like with me, this accomplished business professional, this accomplished revenue and turnaround specialist. And you get comfortable being there and you get paid very well to be there and to do that. But in here, you realize maybe you're not in complete alignment with your true purpose, what your highest calling, what you're really here to do. And I actually work with lots of people that are working towards busting out of this zone of excellence and cracking into that zone of genius. And it's some of the most incredible, wonderful transformational work. All right. So how do you and your patients shift back into alignment? Well, first, you acknowledge something's amiss, right? And you stop resisting it. You actually bring it into the light. You look at it calmly with detachment and see the gift that that really is to you. Ask around what's the lesson and release it, right? There's a lot of painful and time-consuming ways to accomplish this. You know, you could do psychotherapy or counseling, right? You have to, in those things, a lot of times you have to relive that traumatizing experience and bring it up to the surface and re-experience those emotions, which can be very, very painful. Sometimes hypnotherapy, right, where they take you under and you try and discover what maybe this unrealistic fear is within your body. Or maybe you're recognizing it and you tap to try and release some of that energy. There's a lot of different ways that we can help people do that. And typically, in working with other healthcare professionals, what we found is most of the time, the patients they see on a regular basis that have chronic illnesses that won't heal, or they heal one illness and then another one comes in, that's typically because there is an issue. It's either emotions or self-limiting beliefs, negative energies, or beliefs that that's just the way things are, that is really holding that person back from ultimately healing. So one way to release stuck emotions, old trauma, and heal quicker is with the soul intelligence method. It is the ultimate energetic diagnostic tool. And it is my proprietary bioenergetic system that allows you to go deep below the surface and figure out exactly what's stuck energetically. Talk about a time saver, right? So trapped emotions, honestly, are the root cause of most of our illnesses, especially chronic illnesses, right? And when emotion or energy is not in motion and it's stuck, that tends to cause havoc in the physical. So I am really excited to be able to share more about this incredible diagnostic energetic healing tool, the ultimate biohack. I'm actually going to be hosting a free live webinar Monday, January 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern. I am going to share case studies. I am going to go into the method. I'm going to share the content of the course that I'm launching later in January. And I'm going to get really deep and specific. And I'm going to do something really special for the healthcare practitioners and healers that decide to come. I'm going to allow you to receive, because this method isn't just powerful for your patients. This method is powerful for you. And since we're usually last on the priority list, it would be an amazing way for you to help recover and shift some of the energy that maybe you're absorbing for your patients, right? Did you ever feel at the end of the day just completely drained or depleted? If you're working around sick people all the time, or people that are close to passing. My son is a nurse in the VA hospital, and I often work with him to help release stuff he's picked up. Because naturally, as a healthcare professional, you're empathetic, right? You feel other people's emotions. You feel what they're going through. So as you discover those empathic gifts, you have to remember to release what isn't yours. So during this webinar, I am going to gift you a session, a group session. We're going to see whatever is best and highest for the group that evening. And even if you catch it on the replay, you will still receive, because I will set the intention that anyone who witnesses the video gets some opportunity to shift something for their best and highest good. So if you're interested, all you have to do is send me a direct message with your email, and I will be happy to get you the Zoom details out. But just remember, if there's anything that you can do in 2023, I'm naming it. I've decided that 2023 is the year of me, where I'm going to focus on me, putting me first, responding to my own needs, because I truly know that if I take care of myself and I have extreme self-love and empathy and ease and grace within myself, I am going to manifest that externally. So I sincerely hope that you'll consider jumping into the free webinar. Again, it's Monday, January 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern, where I'm going to go into my method in detail. In case you're curious about how this works, I have a book of about 30 charts. Yep. Talk about charts, not like medical charts, but 30 charts where there's things like negative energies, emotions, thoughts, self-limiting beliefs, archetypes, like patterns that repeat in people's lives, things that may come down through heredity that need to shift out, up and out, things that might be toxic within somebody's environment, mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically. Then there's things that maybe might help support the healing. So there are charts that might recommend like a next step for someone. Where else do they go from here? What are things that they should consider to continue to help them get in alignment? So all of those kinds of things are in my method. And I'm so excited that I'm launching this certification course January 17th. And I'm really, really looking forward to sharing with you more during the live webinar, Monday, January 9th at 6 Eastern. Again, if you're interested, just send me a direct message and your email, and I will be happy to get you the Zoom details. Until then, I wish everyone a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy everything you're celebrating, regardless of your faith. I hope everyone has an incredible week, and that you get some chance to celebrate with those you love and care about, and celebrate the season. I'll talk with you soon. Take care.